So I feel like there's not a lot of things in the homeschooling world that I am afraid of or worried about. But there is one thing that really, really intimidates me. And we're going to talk about that today. Hi and welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you are new here, I'm a young homeschooling mom. I have three children. This coming year, I'll have one in kindergarten and preschool. My kindergartner is doing more of a first grade / kindergarten level year. But I am a homeschool graduate as well, and I've really been enjoying experiencing homeschool from the side of teaching. I think my favorite things in homeschooling are probably like the organizing, planning, setting up sides, but it's also been super, super rewarding to see what my kids have been learning and to teach it and to be successful at teaching is like one of the most rewarding things ever. So I have really, really been enjoying it. But today, I want to share the one thing in homeschool that intimidates me. And I think I'm not super intimidated by most of homeschool because I have been homeschooled myself. And so I feel like I'm comfortable in that world. And yes, teaching it is different. There's a lot of changes, there's a lot of things to learn for me, but I'm confident that I can do it. I'm confident it can be done because my mom did it with me. So I think in general, I feel confident in the homeschool world, maybe more confident than I should. But the thing that really intimidates me is the idea of a co-op or a homeschool group. Now, my mom did do co-ops with some of us kids. I think by the time I was in middle high school, she wasn't doing that as much. So maybe it's because I haven't experienced that as a student that's one of the things that intimidate me. But the idea just intimidates me. So I guess I want to talk about kind of my thoughts on that with our homeschool. But before I keep going, I did want to mention that this video is part of a collaboration hosted by Magalie over at Paradise in the Homeschool. And I will be linking her down below in the description as well as the playlist so that you can see what other moms are thinking about homeschool within their co-op, their thoughts and ideas. So check down the description below for that. Also, go ahead and like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. That helps this channel out a lot. Comment if you have any thoughts or questions, or I'd love to know your thoughts on co-ops and if you've done them and do they intimidate you as much as me? So with that, I guess my thoughts are this. I know that I want to do some sort of co-op or homeschool group with my kids. It's not a should I, it's an I do want to. The questions are more, how do I want to go about that? And when do I want to go about that? Not do I want to go about it? I know that my kids need friends their age in the homeschool world. I'm not worried about socialization within homeschooling. That's not something that concerns me, but I do know that I need to be intentional with it. And I want them to have friends who understand the world that they're also growing up in, and homeschool families who have similar thoughts and ideas, who can do things, who have similar schedules. I want those for our family. I also know it's good for me as an introvert to get out and socialize. That's a challenge for me, especially when I'm toting kids along. So it's something that I know I want to do, but it's a challenge for me. So I guess those are some of the reasons I know I want to do it. But I'm trying to decide. Here's the big question. Should I try to find something to join, or should I start one myself? And for somebody who's intimidated of co-ops, it's weird that the idea of starting one myself is actually a little bit less intimidating to me than joining one. I don't know why that is. Maybe because I can kind of choose the structure and how it's set up, and I can choose the amount of people, and I don't know, maybe because I can set some of the parameters that it seems less foreign to me and I have a better idea of what I want. One of the reasons I guess I lean towards that is I don't want a large fee for a co-op. Some of the co-ops around here actually have a fairly pricey membership fee, and I don't really want to do that, at least not at this early elementary age. I'm also not interested in really having a co-op that does core subjects at this point, because I really know what I want to do for core subjects. Start that again. I know what I want to do for our core subjects right now. So unless I found something that was already doing those particular subjects and particular curriculums, I don't really want to jump to something else just to be part of a co-op. So I'm looking for more of like an elective style co-op. So I think with those in mind, I'm like, well, maybe I should start my own, just something small. If I did, I would really reach out to our local homeschool Facebook groups, because there's quite a few that I'm part of. I would just reach out asking like, I'm looking to set up a co-op for, kindergarten age kids. These are the things that I'm thinking of using with it. Would there be any moms who would want to participate? And I'm thinking kind of along the lines, I would look for one mom who wanted to help me plan and be in charge of it. So I would reach out asking for that. And then I would also mention that I want to keep it small. And so there's a limited number so that, the people who reach out to me first would be the ones who would be included. And then I would kind of share kind of the things I'm thinking. And the things I'm thinking right now is I would want to do it every other week. I think every week is too much for me right now with a baby and toddlers and just trying the dynamics and trying not to go crazy. But I think every other week would be about right. So that would be one thing. I'd want to meet during the winter in home. So we'd need to have that listed. And then I guess I have two ideas for what I want to do within the co-op. And I think the two things that I would be considering, and if I reached out to people, I would probably put both ideas out there and see what had more interest. One would be drawing. I have a book called Drawing with Children, and I'll put a picture of it up here. That I've been reading and I would really like to do with my daughter, but I feel like we're doing so much other stuff in our homeschool and a lot of extra electives. We're doing German this year. I'm going to start teaching her piano, that I don't want to give her another subject within our homeschool week. But if we did like kind of a group class once every other week and explored that book, I think that would be fun. And I think that would be an easy one. It's marketed towards preschool through. And so I think it would be something that'd be fairly easy to do with kindergarten age kids. And I think it could be fun as a classroom style, not classroom, but group style thing. The other one that I would be considering is more of a socialization curriculum called Training with Aliens. And again, I'll put the pictures up here. And it's more of a social skills, boundaries kind of curriculum. This one I think is more geared towards kinder or first grade and through like fifth or sixth, I think. So not so much preschoolers. So that's a thought, but I think you could customize it to work with either one. So I guess those are the two things that I'm like, oh, I would like to do these two things. And I think these would work great within a group setting. I think we can make that work really well for an every other week thing. And then the other thing I guess I'm trying to decide, along with, do I really want to start one with myself, would be, if I do want to start one with myself, do I want to start one this year when my kids are in preschool and kindergarten, or should I wait a year and start in kindergarten, first grade? And I feel like the kindergarten, first grade sounds easier to do a group in than preschool and kindergarten, just because I don't know the age of the kids. It sounds easier to work that with. But I'm like, I feel like if I wait a year, then I'm just procrastinating the whole like homeschool group thing. And so I feel like if I decide to wait a year, then I do need to find some sort of group, play date, park meetup, whatever, to do throughout the winter with my kids so that I kind of start that habit. So I don't know. I don't know that this video is helpful as far as a how-to. It's more of me kind of sharing my thoughts and my thoughts. So that's kind of where I'm at. I haven't really come to any firm decisions, but those are kind of the way I'm leaning. So if you have thoughts for me, if you have started a homeschool co-op especially, I would love to know that. Or if you have just kind of any particular thoughts on what I've shared, please post them below. I don't mind being spammed with comments on this one because I really am just so unsure of what I'm doing with this and intimidated by the whole idea. So I would love input. Share, please. Otherwise, again, like I said, check out that link below for the playlist for the other moms sharing their stuff. And do check out Magalie's channel as well, because she has other homeschool content, kids similar ages to mine, maybe a little older. So check her out as well. But that's all I have for you. I have no conclusions. I have no final thoughts. It's just kind of bleh and out there. So hopefully that was helpful, just hearing somebody else process through it, knowing that other people have insecurities and intimidations in homeschool. Even those of us who have been homeschooled and are more confident and put ourselves out there on Facebook and YouTube, just because we're out there doesn't mean we have it all down. And that is true of myself. I'm out there and I may come across as confident in knowing what I'm doing, but I really don't. So hopefully that's helpful, and I look forward to sharing with you again in a couple of days.